In keeping with the pattern of the last couple of episodes, we'll be sharing another interview that was done remotely via email. Back in 2010, I had the privilege and the honor to interview Liz Johnson, a very successful ladies tour winner. And I'll be reading a few questions and answers as they were reported in the North American Bowling News from the 2010 edition. So we'll get started with that. So my first question to Miss Johnson was, what was the format of the first regional title you won? 42-game qualifier, round robin, match play, etc. What did you roll in the final game to win the regional? Liz responded, the first women's regional I won was a round robin, and my first men's regional title was match play elimination event. I beat Mike Fagan 244 to 171 in the title match. The event was in Rome, New York, in August of 2005. I also finished second in a combined regional in Fredonia, New York in April of 2005, and I had a 300 game in that tournament in my match against Bobby Hall II. I lost to Brian Kretzer 197 to 184 in the title match. Then I asked Liz, in the 2005 PBA Banquet Open, were you more nervous about bowling on TV in the final or just regarding the final itself, with TV being a non-issue? Liz responded, I am more nervous prior to a TV show. When I step onto the lanes, the nervousness becomes more excitement. Next question. How many tournaments did you bowl with the male touring pros before the 2005 PBA Banquet Open? Liz responds, 2004 was the first year women were allowed to bowl in PBA events, so I believe I bowled in 2 or 3 tournaments before I made the TV show. Then I asked her, how many practice games do you bowl in a week when preparing to bowl in a tournament? Liz says, I practice approximately 6 games a day, 2 or 3 times a week, and I bowl league twice a week, which I use as a practice session. Next question. What is your most cherished bowling memory or moment? Liz replies, I have a lot of great memories in my career, but making the men's show in 2005 was probably the moment I'll remember above all others. Winning the USBC Queens earlier this year is probably the women's title I'm most proud of. Both were a blast. My next question to Liz. What was your most nervous career bowling moment, league or tournament, such as first 300 game, etc.? Liz replies, my most nervous moments on TV was striking in the 10th to win my first match on the men's show against Wes Malott. I also shot 300 on TV to win in Davie, Florida on September 14, 2001 for an LPBT title. That show actually never aired on ESPN because of September 11, but I still got a $50,000 bonus for shooting 300, although I didn't know about the bonus at the time. I also picked up the 2-8 to win a title against Leanne Barrett in Tennessee in 2002 to win a title. That was pretty nerve-wracking. My next question. How much do you travel to bowl during a typical year? Liz says, in 2009, I probably traveled about 20 to 30 weeks overall. I can't remember for sure, but I don't think I was ever home more than 2 weeks at a time. Next question. How many bowling balls do you normally take to an event? Ms. Johnson says, if I travel by plane, I bring 4 to 6 balls. If I travel by car, I bring anywhere from 8 to 16 balls. Next question. What is your preferred lane pattern? Viper, cheetah, etc. Liz answers, well, my top finishes have been on the Viper. People think the cheetah is my favorite, but to be honest, I haven't bowled that well on the cheetah. I don't think there's much room for error on the Viper. I like the patterns where you can play them pretty straight and you don't have much room for mistakes. I think accuracy is one of the strongest parts of my game. And finally, the last question. Do you have any tips for bowlers who might be struggling, whether it be a confidence issue or with their mechanics? And Liz's reply is, If you have problems with your footwork or push away, just try to go back to basics. Try not to overthink things. So these interviews have been very important for me, just getting to know the 10-pin bowlers and the pros and how they think and react on the lanes in their own, from their own recollections. So all the pros, especially Liz for this episode, have been very forthcoming, gracious, and helpful with their responses. They're very thorough, not really cutting it short at all. Just very genuine. So I appreciate that.